Surprise, YouTube. Hey guys, so now that Scream 2022 is out, it's time for me to go back and rank every single Ghostface killer from all 5 Scream movies. Now, this should go without saying, but I'm going to get into full-on spoilers for all 5 Scream movies, including the new one. So if you haven't seen it, I would suggest watching it before this. It's pretty good. You've been warned. So now that that's out of the way, 3, 2, 1. There are 2 killers in Scream, the new one. So there are now 9 total Ghostface killers in the entire Scream franchise, so I'm going to rank all 9 of them from worst to best. I think these range from horrible to amazing, so there's a very wide range of killers in the Scream franchise. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 9 is going to be Roman Bridger from Scream 3. I cannot stand this guy and everything that he represents. Not only is he a very uninteresting, uncharismatic, annoying, whiny, complaining character who I couldn't stand every time he was on screen, but he also retcons Billy and Stu and completely undercuts Billy's motivation. So everything about this guy just pisses me off. Fuck Roman, he's number 9. Number 8 is going to be Charlie from Scream 4. Charlie's a pretty lame villain. Now, you'll see the main killer from Scream 4, Jill, much higher up on this list, but her lackey, Charlie, doesn't really have much going for him. Not a very interesting or compelling character, and the reason he's doing this is because he's a horny idiot who has feelings for Jill, and there's no other reason aside from that, and didn't even think for a second that maybe she would kill him and betray him, and was just using him to complete her mission, and that's exactly what happened. So, Charlie, I don't really have much to say about. No characterization, really. I never really cared for him, although he does have one cool moment when he stabs Kirby. Number 7 is going to be the first new killer on this list, and that's going to be Amber from Scream 2022. Now, Amber is similar to Charlie in that she doesn't get much characterization, never really cared for her as a character, but she gets put slightly higher on this list because I think the actor is more memorable and she gives a better, more interesting, fun performance and has more charisma and is a little bit more, stands out a little bit more than Charlie did. So that's why I'm putting her slightly higher. As far as motivation, she doesn't really have one. She met Richie on the internet, on the subreddit, and then he's the one with the plan and she just goes along with him. So pretty similar to Charlie in that way. But she does also have a very memorable death, which is a lot of fun and gives kind of a callback to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which she was also in. So I dug that, even though the character herself was never very interesting to me, and I definitely saw that she was one of the killers coming from a mile away. Number 6 is going to be Mrs. Loomis from Scream 2. Now, she is quite a bit of a mixed bag for me. So on one hand, the actress does a great job. The fact that she's Billy's mom and wants revenge for Billy's death, good old-fashioned revenge, all that's good. The issue I have, though, is that the character, before we get the reveal, is incredibly underdeveloped, and we hardly even get to see her. If you're not paying very close attention, you might not even know who this is when she walks in there. Like, who the hell is this? So that part was not very fleshed out and not very developed. So that is why I'm such a mixed bag on Mrs. Loomis. It didn't necessarily feel earned when she came in as the killer. But, again, actress did a great job, and the fact that she's Billy's mom, I like that. Just very much a mixed bag for me. Number 6, Mrs. Loomis. Number 5 is going to be the next new killer, which is Richie from Scream 2022. Now, on one hand, I really dig the motivation. I think it's a perfect motivation for the current times, and it really, really touches on fandom and toxic fandom, and gives a very good meta commentary about what people are like these days when it comes to getting upset and angry and going at each other about movies and movie franchises and horror franchises in today's day. I thought the performance was great. Jack Quaid does a great job. He's a great actor, certainly throughout the entire movie. Then once he reveals himself as a killer, all that was great. The issue I have with him, though, is that I saw him being the other killer coming from a mile away. Both him and Amber were extremely predictable that they were the killers. They gave it away so early in the movie, at least in my opinion. If you've seen enough of these movies, you're going to be able to figure out who it is. So that part of it drags him down quite a bit, but the character and the performance himself was great. Just the fact that he's number 5 is because I was so easily able to figure out that he was one of the killers. Number 4 is going to be Mickey from Scream 2. I like Mickey a lot. I think Mickey was the better killer of Scream 2, mainly because we get more of him before the killer reveal, and when he gets revealed as the killer, it actually means something to us. Now, is it somewhat predictable? Sure, not nearly as predictable as the killers in the new Scream, but I really enjoy Mickey. Timothy Olyphant does a great job. He's a great actor and certainly has a great screen presence and elevates the material for sure. Definitely enjoy Mickey as a character throughout the movie, and he's a lot of fun to be around. Once the reveal happens, it's pretty cool. Even though the motivation, I think, is probably one of the dumbest ones and makes him one of the dumbest killers when it really comes down to it. Does he really think this is going to work? Nah. And then Mrs. Loomis just shoots him and calls that out. So that drags him down a little bit, but I really, really enjoy Mickey. He's number 4. Number 3 is going to be the first killer on this list from the original Scream, and that's Stu. Stu is awesome. And he is so enjoyable. Certainly, as far as enjoyment level and craziness and goofiness, he would be at the top of the list. And even performance-wise, Matthew Lillard is phenomenal. He steals every scene he's in this movie. Such a fun, ridiculous character. And you don't think he's going to be one of the killers because he's so dumb and goofy. But the fact that he's a sidekick makes perfect sense because he's Billy's lapdog and he's just following along because of peer pressure and he's having fun with it and doesn't really know what this is really about. And that's the reason why he's number 3, not higher, is because he was just a lackey and he was just following his friend and was the guy that you're going to sell out if you get caught. So that's why he's not higher. But Stu, other than that, Stu is so enjoyable, such an amazing character, and easily one of my characters, not my favorite characters, not just favorite killers, but favorite characters in the entire franchise. Stu is awesome. He's number 3. Number 2 is going to be Jill from Scream 4. Jill is amazing, and this is one easily to me that was the least predictable. The most surprising killer reveal on this entire list was Jill. I had no clue it was going to be her because they're making it seem like she's going to be the new Sydney. They're going to be passing the torch along to her, and then she seems like a really nice girl, has some great interactions with Sydney, and you would never suspect her as being the killer. She was attacked several times by Ghostface and called by Ghostface. Never suspected her whatsoever. At least I didn't. Then once she was revealed, you're like, holy shit. And then her performance goes to a whole new level because she talks about her motivations, and it's honestly a great one. And it makes sense for the time that it came out, and you realize how fucking crazy this girl is because she starts beating herself up, like falling onto tables and crashing into glass and stabbing herself, all to kind of depict this narrative that she is the new final girl, the new victim of all these things that happened, all because she was jealous of Sydney's fame and now she wants to be the famous one. So crazy, so fucked up, so well done. The only thing keeping her from being number 1, possibly, is the fact that she kind of goes against her whole plan and what she was all about in the very end of the movie and just decides to try to kill Sydney in the hospital and then gets herself killed. So that drags her down just slightly, but for mystery factor, surprise factor, and the performance after the reveal is done and the motivation, Jill is incredible. She's number 2. And number 1, and you guys know who it is, he's the OG, it's Billy Loomis. This guy is the perfect Ghostface. He is the perfect psycho serial killer. He is super creepy, super menacing. Everything about him, the motive, the performance, the mannerisms, just gives me the creeps. Every time I watch him in Scream, every time I hear his voice in Scream 3, and now we get to see visions of him with Sam in the new Scream. Just everything to do with this character gives me the creeps and gives me the chills, and that's a testament to how great of a character and killer Billy Loomis is. I don't think anyone's ever going to pass him up. And what makes it so brilliant is that he's super creepy throughout the entire movie that you think it's not going to be him. It's way too obvious. There's no chance it's going to be him. He's a red herring. But then you get the fake out with him fake dying, and then we find out later that he is the killer with not the most surprising by any stretch, but the best killer reveal when he goes, "We all go a little mad sometimes," and shoots Randy. Incredible. And then when we learn about his motive and everything from that point on, when we get the reveal, just insanely psychotic and creepy and so well performed and well written. I don't think any other character is ever going to pass Billy Loomis as far as Ghostface killers go. He is definitely the OG, and he is number 1. So there you have it, guys. There is my ranking for all 9 Ghostface killers in all 5 Scream movies so far. How would you guys rank all these killers? Drop a comment below. And next up is going to be some of the cool new stuff I've been teasing. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you enjoy my content in general, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified when I post a video. And stay tuned, guys. I got some cool stuff coming. I'll see you soon.